Who on earth is going to get relegated from the Championship this season? Let's see if we can work it out today. Hello guys and welcome back to yet another video. Today I thought we could really have a deep dive look at the bottom end of the Championship table as we head into the final week, which will be nail biting. There is so much to play for. Before we really get into the video guys, be sure to share your thoughts down in the comments. Obviously Plymouth look like they're going down with Cardiff, but who is going down in 22nd place? Do share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know who you think will be relegated. Make sure as well to drop a like. Let's go for 2,000. Guys, it takes 2 seconds. And if you hit the thumbs up button, it really does help this channel out. So please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Your support this season has been amazing on the Championship videos. Let's try and end the season with 100k. Like and subscribe. And let's get into this. This is the state of play and let's go through it in order. So Cardiff City, we addressed this yesterday. Commiserations, relegated. The first team to be officially relegated, but Plymouth are pretty much down as well. We won't spend too much time talking about Plymouth because it's just not realistic, is it? It's not going to happen, a 14 goal difference swing on the final day. They're playing Leeds as well. So really frustrating because they could come up short on goal difference if they do beat Leeds. And do you know what? I was thinking to myself last night, if they'd just not conceded that last minute penalty against Middlesbrough, where the referee gave a dubious penalty to Borough, then Plymouth would have one extra point right now and would have a very much a fighting chance, because I think if you get to 50 points, you got a real chance of staying up, and that would have given Plymouth a chance of getting to 50. So yeah, it really is that excruciating for Plymouth that they might have just come up this much short. Positives for Plymouth, I think they could go into next season with a real chance of coming back up. Obviously you could put this season down to Wayne Rooney's stint not being very good, a bit like Birmingham City last season. And another comparison you can draw to last season, guys, is this is very similar to what the final day setup was. You had one team already down, which was Rotherham. You had one team that was pretty much down on goal difference going into the final day, which was Huddersfield, which is like Plymouth here. And then it was all to play for above them. So let's look at these teams from 22nd to 18th. The difference between this final day and the final day last season was it wasn't in Birmingham City's hands. They won, and they only needed one of the teams in front of them to slip up. But they all won as well, and Birmingham got relegated. The difference is this time, if Hull City win on the final day, they are safe. They are safe because Derby play Stoke, so they will at least overtake one team down here. So, here is the state of play. Oxford and above are safe. Congratulations Oxford and Portsmouth, they've done very well. And it's left Stoke, Derby, Preston, Luton and Hull involved. And a couple of these are Championship regulars. I mean, Preston is the one that's really sticking out to me here. Preston, I just don't see them being a team that's down here, but they are. Their form has been dreadful. Look at that, 4 defeats in a row. And they've just lost to Plymouth, and God knows, if they lose to Bristol City, they could be down. So, like I say, here's the state of play. Let me actually get into this. Hull City have it all to do. If Hull City get beat 3-0, 4-0 or even just 1-0, then we don't get a relegation battle, because Hull need to at least get 1 point to make things interesting. Hull need at least 1 point to make things interesting, because there's 3 teams in front of them on 49 points, and then the goal difference comes into it, where it's very close. We could have a scenario where it does go down to goals scored. That would maybe be if Stoke won 2-0 against Derby, Hull City drew their game, say Preston and Luton both get results, and then it's between Derby and Hull on goals scored. I mean, this is how close it could be. Now, although we have grown used to seeing some good relegation battles in the Championship over the last couple of years, it rarely does go down to goal difference. We rarely get a team relegated on goal difference or goals scored. It does happen, but not very often. I'm wondering if this will be the time. So let's get those fixtures up, as I say. Hull City go away to Portsmouth, and that is the main game as far as I'm concerned, in terms of if you're a neutral wanting excitement, you need Hull to get something at Portsmouth. If they do, the other games all become very interesting. In particular, Derby versus Stoke, because they both have something to play for. They're both in this. Now, I did say yesterday, I wonder if they would play out a tactical draw. Say if they both know Hull City are 2-0 down at half-time, and it's 0-0 between Derby and Stoke, do they just keep the handbrake on and not gamble. Like I said yesterday, I'm not accusing anyone of match fixing, but this is football and you do need to work out the permutations, and a draw, as I say, might be enough. A draw is definitely enough for Stoke, might be enough for Derby. Let's talk about Luton and Preston. Both away from home on the final day, both away at good teams. I prefer Luton's fixture though. They're away at West Brom. West Brom, to be fair to them, got a 0-0 against Cardiff last time, which did relegate Cardiff, so let's not say it's the easiest fixture in the world, because they could be stubborn, and no one's going to roll over and have their belly tickled just because you've got more to play for. But Luton have shown some good fight lately, and although I referenced I prefer them at Kenilworth Road, I could see them going to the Hawthorns and at least getting a draw. If not, maybe snatching all 3 points. So, if Luton get a draw, then Preston need to make sure they get something, if Hull have got something as well. And this is where things are difficult. Preston maybe have the most difficult game here. Preston are away at Bristol City, and Bristol City, as things stand, need a result. We're recording this before Bristol City play Leeds, and if Bristol City beat Leeds, then maybe Preston will be able to get something against Bristol City because they're on the beach at that point. But even then, difficult. Who knows? Honestly, it could actually work in Preston's advantage if Bristol City need something on the final day. It could make it an open game, and Paul Heckingbottom might be able to navigate that. Oh, I don't know. But as I say, it all starts with Hull City. And they're away at Portsmouth, and Portsmouth are very good at home. I'm really fascinated to see how that game plays out, because I think it's genuinely possible that Portsmouth race into a 2-3-0 lead, and that's it. There's no excitement on the final day. But are Portsmouth going to do that? They've just drawn away at Sheffield Wednesday. Both teams were on the beach in that one. Hull City, I mean, here's something you need to factor in. Although Hull City have not been great lately, they have been a lot better away from home. And although Portsmouth are good at home, it's probably better for Hull that it isn't at their home, because Hull City, they don't seem to win at home at the minute. So this is really, really fascinating. So here's the setup. Here's the lay of the land going into the final day, and then I'll give you my hunch. Hull must get something at Portsmouth to make things interesting. It's not a guarantee that if they get a draw they'd stay up though. They could still go down if they draw. But it'll put the cat amongst the pigeons, and they only need one slip in front of them so long as Hull get something. If they win, they're guaranteed safety, but if they draw, they could still get out of this. Luton, I think Luton might be alright. Here's my hunch. I think Luton will survive. I think that last minute goal against Coventry is the turning point now, and I think they at least get a draw at West Brom. Preston I'm worried about though. Preston I'm worried about. I think they're more than capable of going and beating Bristol City, but they've not been putting they've not been putting anything into action recently. I mean, look at the results. As soon as the pressure's on, you think, right, they'll get the win. They haven't been, and now we expect them to go and do it at Bristol City. It's a tall order, isn't it? And then Derby and Stoke. I personally fancy Derby more in that game. I think it could either be a draw or Derby might pinch it. That's how I see that game going. But I don't necessarily think Stoke will go down. They could, because we saw that with Birmingham City last season, where one team gets very unlucky, all the results around them go against them, you go down. But I just have a feeling that someone might slip behind Stoke, which keeps Stoke above the bottom three. So my early hunch, without giving away my weekly predictions that I'll do with Sophie, is I'm most concerned for Preston and Hull. I think right now that's where I see it going. It's going to be one of those two for me right now. I honestly couldn't call it. I think maybe the pressure's on Hull because they have to get something, and even if they do, you're not guaranteed that they'll survive, because it's in Preston's hands as well, as long as they get something. This is a horrible, horrible situation. I mean, as a neutral, you've got to love it. This is what you want. It's chaos, but you've got to have a level of sympathy for the fans involved here. I've seen Derby County fans, Hull City fans commenting, saying, I've got no nails left. It was nail-biting yesterday. I can imagine it'll be even more nail-biting on the final day. There'll be absolutely no toenails left at this rate. There you go. We're going to wrap it up there. I'm going to do an in-depth look on the Championship playoff race soon as well. There's a Champions League video coming out later tonight as well. But I did think we had to start with the Championship relegation battle and what we could have happen on the final day. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe. But most importantly, do comment with your thoughts. And yeah, like I say, I'll do my predictions for these games in a couple of days' time with Sophie. God help us. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace out.